use leaner cuts. Ooh, that kind of tweaked over there. Leaner cuts, you know, brown chuck, sirloin, tenderloin, you know, the nicer cuts, not the ones that have the nice big chunks of fat on it that we love to grill with. It kind of just seep in and become cracklings. Salmon, albacore tuna, trout, you know, again, there's an AJ's down here, and they usually have some of the nicer, different types of fish and stuff, and that's a really good place to get some decent fresh fish. I just go in the back and buy fish and then leave. I don't buy anything else in that store. Cut off that excess fat. You don't need it. Freshened and dried herbs. You know, when you're getting your veggies and stuff, go through the veggie section. Grab some of the fresh thyme and rosemary and things like that. I mean, rosemary grows pretty good here. You can buy rosemary bush. I had a rosemary Christmas tree one year. You know, all season long, I'm out there cutting little limbs off my Christmas tree to use in the kitchen. And use healthy substitutions. There's lots of different things. I tease my mom incessantly because she no longer cooks with sour cream at all. She uses yogurt and everything, to the point where she was actually making brownies that had yogurt in them. But it made them really chewy. They were good, but I was still like, can you just make regular brownies? But they were very good brownies, so, but I like to give her a hard time. Helen went over a lot of this in a previous thing, of different alternatives for things to do. You know, you don't need that whole egg. Just use the egg whites. You know, all that does is add calories and a little yellow to your food, so you don't necessarily need it. The low-fat stuff, you know, like Helen mentioned to you, you get used to it. You know, your body starts to adjust. My husband is finally giving in. So when you go and eat out, portion distortion. Most restaurants will give you 2 to 4 times the recommended serving size. Like I said, Cracker Barrel gave me 8 times the serving size for what I should have. I mean, it was a platter for the entire restaurant. I was waiting for it just to scoop some out and just keep walking around the room. And you could be adding more than 100 extra calories to your plate, which could be 10 pounds a year. So realize, all that extra food on there, it's going to go somewhere. Guess where it's going to go? Ask the waiter not to bring the bread or the chips. You know, that's my big weakness. You know, when you go, especially Mexican food, you don't even want those chips. I can guarantee you, if you do not dip it in that sauce, just try to eat just the chip and go, is this a good chip? You know, no, it's not. They're all mass-produced and they all taste horrible. They're like cardboard. But dip it in that sauce and that guacamole, man. It tastes awesome. It's just a vessel to get to your mouth. So, since the chip is just that vessel, don't eat the chip. It's really good salsa, probably, depending on where you go.
Yeah.
Either dump the salsa in off the chip, or literally just take your spoon and just eat the salsa. Because most people are like, how do you eat salsa without a chip? Yeah, you can. It's the salsa you're tasting, not the chip. Just eat the salsa. That's what I do. Or I keep the salsa and put it on my food when it comes instead of the sauce. If I don't want the cream sauce, I dump the salsa on it. And no calories in salsa. Unless I dumped a bunch of sugar in it. Most of them don't. You know, start with a vegetable-based soup or a salad. You know, again, just keep the bread and chips away from me. And one of my big tips is, because we go out for Italian or whatever, which is kind of hard to eat healthy with, you know, but you can try. You can get the eggplants and different things like that. I have to have my glass of wine. So they bring that bread, and as much as I would really love to eat all that bread and all the oil that came with it, I'm like, can't have my glass of wine if I eat this bread. So that's my thing. Sip my wine, enjoy my wine, because it takes a longer time for me to drink that glass of wine than it does for me to eat that entire loaf of really hot bread. Get an appetizer instead of an entree. If you look through the appetizer sections in most restaurants, guess what? When we go to P.F. Chang's, lettuce wraps as an appetizer at P.F. Chang's. Oh my God. Have you ever ordered them? That's a meal. You don't need them. If you ate that in lunch, well, then you're eating with IT if you ordered that much. Which is good. You ever want to portion control when you go out to eat? Invite the boys. Because they will gladly eat what you don't. They'll take it. Not a problem. Even if you've already touched it, they don't care.
No offense.
Get butter, sour cream, get all that stuff on the side. And the best thing is, when you get it on the side, don't go, you just defeated the purpose. Dip your food in it. Just kind of, you know, like if you get a little hollandaise sauce and stuff like that, comes with that wonderful filet, cut your steak up, just dip it right in the corner. That's all he wants is a little teeny taste, and that's all you need. So don't worry about getting your money's worth. Europeans just must think we're insane. We sat next to a couple one time from Switzerland on vacation, and they looked over and they said, Was that just your single order? Because, you know, we've been on this cruise ship and we're just dying over the amount of food. Because he said, we don't get portions like this, you know, in Europe. You know, because that's us. That's the American thing. Got to get our money's worth, you know. If it's the $5 deal or whatever, you know, then you got to eat every bit of it. $5, you know. Whereas if it would cost you $50, you might want to take some home. It's a $50 meal. I want to enjoy it again tomorrow, right? You paid all that money for it. You want to savor it again. If it was $5, man, you're scarfing every bit of that food down. So, ask the server to put half of it in the box before they bring it to you. Or if you know, you're not comfortable with that, or they're like going, oh, geez. Ask them to bring the box when you get your dinner. Go ahead and cart up half of it, put it away. And try not to open it in the course of the meal. Split desserts with the table, or order fruit, or get it to go. If you order dessert to go, because you're looking there, you just had this great meal, now your blood sugars are up, and you're like, I'm really not hungry, I'm really full, but oh my God, that sounds fabulous with all this sugar and cream and all of it. Get it to go. Because by the time you get home, food's going to have settled, you're going to relax a little bit, you're going to get a little tired, and you're like, you know what, maybe I'll have it later. Or maybe, you know, just a little bite. So try that as kind of, you know, a little helpful thing. You know, get water, unsweetened tea, soda waters, you know. Realize everything on the table is adding to your calories. That bread's adding, you know, that soda's adding. You know, there's calories in orange juice, you know, because they always talk about, you know, make sure you get orange juice and stuff like that. But realize, too, that is good and it's a good filler, but there's still calories in that. You still have to kind of include those as well. Even though it's a fruit, there's still some calories there. You know, get steamed. That's always an awesome thing to have. And simple dishes with fewer ingredients, so there's not a whole lot of stuff going on. Sometimes healthier. Somebody mentioned islands. Who said islands earlier? Yeah. I love Islands Restaurant because they just have all kinds of goofy island drinks in their bar. That's where I go. Island fish tacos. This is what I ordered. So I was like, oh, that sounds healthy, right? The island fish tacos. And I didn't get the guacamole on it. It's corn tortillas, shredded cabbage, tomato, cilantro, and there's a little chipotle white sauce. There's 1,300 calories in those things. That's all you get are those 3 tacos. You get nothing else with it. No chips. I was like, oh my God. On top of the foofy drink I had with it, I probably should have went home and died. So the next time I go to Islands, I'm going to tell them to put that sauce on the side. Teeny little pieces of it, realizing that's probably 1,000 calories in my tacos. So, complete shock to me. So again, that's the sauces they're fabulous, but they'll get you.